Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to go over how to draw and color Sonic. I'm going to start trying these out a little bit, starting to color them. Anyways, to go over the supplies list here, pencil, marker, doesn't matter what kind of pencil, doesn't matter what kind of marker, just make sure the marker has some sort of tip on it. You know what I mean? There's no big deal, it's just a magic marker. And for the color, I'm going to be using Prismacolor markers here. Honestly, it kind of matters what marker you get, but I'm going to be using, well, you know what? I'll go over the colors when we get to those. So right now, I'm just going to go right into the pencil first. So I'm going to go into a light Lan. Lan would be just the positions and kind of proportions of the figure I'm going to go into, you know? And I'm doing this really light. Honestly, this is for yourself. You should barely be able to see this on camera. I'm going to do one of his more typical, like, hey, poses. His eyeball here. For example, if I also want to position his arm, I would literally do that light line right there. Like, that's the position I want his arm to be. You know, these are just defined proportions. The reason we do this step is so that you don't get into the marker right away and find out that, let's say, his leg is way too long, you know, or one leg is longer than the other. It's kind of to prevent all that. See, like that would be his foot down here. And it's just a squiggled in thing, right? It's light because I'm going to erase it ultimately. But you know, I'm not going to mistakenly draw his foot. You know, I'm not going to mistakenly marker his foot way up here. If that makes sense. His other foot's back there. I'm going to make him do the rock on symbol instead of his yeah. So see, that's a scribbled in kind of gesture pose right there. And now I'm going to go with a marker. So I'm going to go right into the eyes. I always go into the eyes first. He's got that round eye thing, extremely round, cartoony eyes. The cool part is about this design is, you know, you can kind of inflect some things more than others. You can, there's a lot of leeway in terms of what's right and what's wrong. Circle there for his eye is, you know, iris and pupil. His other eye is going to be that way because his head is like a ball, essentially, and it's turning that way, so it's going to be aiming that way. And so hey, you're going to see one eye a lot more than you can see the other eye because the other eye is going to be behind it. Let me see. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the nose in because the nose comes in front of that other eye as well. He's got that little hot dog looking nose. Be careful with your line quality too when you use any marker. Try to pull your stroke in one stroke if possible. You know? Let me think of an example here. Let me move this up a little bit. For his ear, he has a triangle, right? Don't feather it along. You know what I'm saying? Do it in one stroke to one corner. Bam. Bam. One stroke makes it look clean, you know? But, let's say your proportion is a little weird or off. The clean strokes will really make a difference, a huge difference. I'm going to draw the rest of his mouth here. his arm is kind of coming in front of his mouth. So I'm going to actually take that into account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw his chest there. I'm going to draw here. I'm going to make it seem like his mouth is behind his chest because he's going to be raising up his chest there. Draw his mouth. I forgot his iris over here. You know, he's really got a sweet design. I mean, he's been such a popular character for so long, and I almost feel like I wouldn't say he's more popular, but he's still really popular, Sonic. I love Sonic. So, now the hard one, which I probably should have done beforehand. It's going to be the top curve to his head. And that's one long stroke, essentially, and I guess I'm going to have to cut it in half because the ear gets in the way. It's one. And I'm going to try to make it look like it's going to continue over here. I think I did alright. I'm going to put in his other ear over here. It's going to be the ear is facing, away, so you're not going to see the inner part of the ear. Alright. And now, before I do any more, his hand is, like, it's in perspective. So his hand, he's going to be doing this rock on sign right up into the camera. So, I'm going to have to draw that first, because everything's going to go behind it. It's going to be overlapping. So, let me see. Draw his middle two fingers. Bottom of his hand there. Other finger. Sonic, his knuckles. You know, not Knuckles, you know, but it's his knuckles. And his other finger. Rock on. Rock on. And the bottom of his glove. I gotta draw in, because he is wearing gloves. You know, and it can be just as abstract as that. And now I'm gonna connect this hand to that arm. See, that lay-in beforehand, the penciling helped, because otherwise I would have had to guess of where I was going to put his hand before that, and now I have to connect it up. So, he's got a tube-like arm. It's a little too tube-like for me, but you know what? It's gonna have to work. It'll work. I mean, it's gonna have to work because I'm using marker. But I'm gonna put the back of his body. He's got kind of a little egg body, little tiny egg body. Draw his leg. All right. I'm going to draw his other leg behind there. His socks over here on the back. Be very conscious of the stroke that you pull with the, and I've said that before, but be very conscious of that. Of how you pull the marker. I'll do his socks over here. Bottom of his shoe. Shoe's going to be aiming back, you know, because he's kind of pushed. Almost his heel is more forward. His heel is more toward us than his, in the front of his foot. So he's got this big old triangle shoe. Another thing about it is you can kind of see the bottom of his shoe. Let me move this. You can see the bottom of his shoe because he's lifting it off the ground. I want that to read more as the bottom of his shoes, so I'm gonna put his bottom of his the track, you know, the shoe, of the tennis shoe. And he has this thing that ties down his shoe over here. Be square, with another square, and then another small square inside of it. Makes it look like it has depth, you know. All right, and that's his. That's pretty good. You go even do the little back here. He's got a little brand on the back of his shoe. So now now to draw the other shoe on the other side, and that's gonna be behind this entire area. So same thing. All right. Also, if the marker is hard to use, I would suggest take a scratch piece of paper and start drawing lines from across the whole page. You know, get really used to using your tool, your instrument. You know, that always helps. It builds dexterity, and dexterity is really what a lot of this is about. All right, let me move back up here. Oh, square here. And now I'm going to draw his other hand. Actually, I don't know what I want his other hand to do. I should have done that. I'm going to draw it. Maybe holding a power ring. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let me actually pencil that in before I go any further. And just circle for where the hand I'm going to place it, using the pencil again. Alright, that's good enough, I think. I mean, see, just something scribbly like that, so I have, and something I can erase. Do not go dark on that. So... I believe 1, 2, 3. I got 5 fingers. Oh, I was like messing up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, 5 fingers. He's making a fist there. A good way to draw a fist, honestly, especially in that position, is look at your own hand. You know? Oh, I gotta clean my nails. Look at your own hand. You always have your hand there for reference, you know? Maybe he's got some sort of you know, kind of warped ring that he nabbed. Oh, my ring's actually a little warped. Shouldn't have done that. But, And let's see. I'm gonna continue his spikes, his famous spikes over here, and I gotta figure out where they're gonna go. Pretty long.